Ever feel like you're stuck playing checkers and everyone else is playing chess? Like they've got some secret playbook for success? Well, today we're diving into a book that throws out the rule book entirely. Thick Face, Black Heart by Chin-Ning Chu. Now, before you think, oh, wait, am I going to be some cold-hearted, manipulator? That's not what this is about.
Not at all, no.
Okay, good. I'm glad to hear that because, the title, it's a little intimidating.
Yeah, it's a bit jarring.
Yeah. But it's basically about mastering this ancient Chinese philosophy of success, which honestly is way more nuanced than it initially sounds.
It really is. It's about this fascinating blend of inner resilience
Okay.
and being adaptable on the outside.
I like that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, on the one hand, you've got this inner strength, this sort of, unshakable core. But then you're also able to kind of like read the room and adjust your approach, right?
Exactly. And, this isn't just some new age self-help thing. Chu is drawing on centuries of Chinese philosophy here. This is like deep wisdom stuff.
The real deal. Yeah. So let's break it down. Starting with that thick face.
Okay.
What exactly does that even mean? Paint me a picture. Let's say you're in a meeting, right? And somebody, totally throws you under the bus. And it's so unfair.
Oh, yeah.
What's the thick face response?
So thick face in that situation, it's about not letting it get to you. It's about having that inner strength where that criticism, it just rolls right off. You don't even flinch.
So it's not about firing back. It's more about being unflappable.
Exactly. Think of it as like this invisible shield.
Okay.
That deflects negativity.
Yeah.
You stay calm, you stay collected no matter what's coming at you.
Ooh, I like that. It's funny because Chu actually tells this amazing story about this military strategist, Han Xin, to illustrate this point. Have you heard of him?
Yes.
Okay, so this guy, legendary for his fighting skills, right? And one day, these two guys, these hotshots, they challenge him to a duel.
Bold move.
Right. And Han Xin could have totally destroyed them. But here's the thing. If he refused to fight them, he would have to crawl between this leader's legs.
Oh, wow.
Can you imagine the humiliation?
Yeah, talk about an ego hit.
Totally.
Yeah.
But that's the thing about thick face, right? It's realizing that sometimes that strategic retreat, like swallowing your pride, that's actually the most courageous move.
It's about picking your battles.
Choosing long-term gain over a short-term ego boost.
Exactly.
And you know what? Guess what? He lived to fight another day, and trust me, he got his revenge.
There you go.
See?
That's the thick face, black heart way.
There you go. That's how you play the long game. Okay, so thick face is about resilience. It's about weathering the storm. But then we get to black heart, and things get a little,
a little more intense.
Yeah. A little bit almost dangerous,
Yeah. It has that vibe, doesn't it?
It does. Are we about to step over to the dark side here?
No, not necessarily.
Okay.
It's not about becoming, heartless or cruel.
Okay.
It's more about this laser-like focus on what you want to achieve.
Okay.
Even if that means, kind of tuning out all the noise around you.
The peanut gallery.
Yeah.
Blocking out the haters.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All the naysayers, all the doubters. It's like, imagine a surgeon.
Okay, yeah.
Right, operating before they had anesthesia.
Yeah.
They couldn't be worried about what people thought or how they felt.
Right.
They had to be decisive.
Yeah.
They had to be precise.
Yeah.
Black heart is a little like that.
It's interesting you say that because I was thinking about this in terms of revolutionaries or people who really shake things up, right?
Absolutely.
They get a lot of pushback.
Oh, yeah.
But they have this vision,
Totally. Think about Coco Chanel.
Okay, yeah.
She totally revolutionized women's fashion.
Completely.
Right.
Yeah.
Short skirts, pants for women. Back then, that was scandalous.
Oh, yeah.
But she had that black heart, that drive to ignore everyone who said it wouldn't work.
And look at her now. So you're saying sometimes you have to be willing to be a little bit, different.
Yeah, a little daring.
Yeah.
To break the mold a little bit.
Yeah.
You're not going to please everyone, and that's okay.
You got to break some eggs to make an omelet.
Exactly.
So we've got thick face to help us, deal with the critics. We've got black heart to fuel our boldest moves. But where does fear fit into all of this? Because that seems like a pretty big factor, right?
Totally. And here's where Chu's perspective is so fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't see fear as this enemy to be conquered.
Right.
She breaks it down into 6 different elements.
Yeah.
She sees it as a natural part of life.
So it's not about getting rid of fear completely.
Yes.
It's more about understanding it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mastering it. I mean, think about it. We often fear what we don't know.
Right, like trying a new food.
Right, exactly. Going to a new place.
Even putting yourself out there. Diversity is fear, she says.
Right. Which, by the way, I totally relate to.
I know, same here. Every time I hit publish on a new episode, I'm like, ooh, here we go.
Yeah, but that just means you care.
Okay, that's true.
What matters is recognizing those moments and not letting them completely paralyze us.
It's like that saying, feel a fear and do it anyway.
Yes. Something like that, right?
Exactly. And Chu tells this great anecdote about this sales girl who's trying to lock up her store at night, but she's so panicked she can't even find the keyhole.
Oh, no. We've all been there.
Right, when fear just makes the simplest things seem impossible.
Totally, yeah. The key is catching ourselves in those moments and choosing to move forward. Now, here's where thick face, black heart gets really interesting. It's not just about individual success. There's this whole ethical dimension to it, too. And that's where Dharma comes in.
Dharma. Okay, so break that down for me. What is that in this context?
So Dharma essentially means acting in accordance with your duty in each situation. It's about doing what's right, not just what's easy or convenient or what's going to, get you the most likes on social media.
Right, not just what's going to get you ahead,
Right.
right? But like doing it with integrity.
Exactly. And this is so crucial because it prevents thick face, black heart from just becoming this, tool for manipulation.
I see, yeah.
Right. Dharma acts as this moral compass, making sure that your actions are aligned with something bigger than yourself.
So you're not just out for yourself. You're thinking about the bigger picture.
Right.
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 Yeah, I like that. I mean, are there any examples of this in the book, like how Dharma plays out?
Yeah. Actually, there's a really powerful story about this holy man.
Oh, okay.
He breaks a sacred vow,
Oh, wow.
but he does it to protect his reputation. So on the surface, it seems like a noble act, but ultimately it does more harm than good.
So it's kind of a cautionary tale
Exactly.
about how even good intentions can.
Totally backfire. Thick face, black heart is powerful, but it needs to be guided by Dharma.
Yeah.
That strong sense of what's truly right.
Otherwise,
Otherwise, it could go
garbage.
really wrong.
Yeah, it's a slippery slope, right?
Totally. And speaking of the slippery slopes, Chu also talks about this other trap we often fall into, this whole chasing pleasure, avoiding pain thing. Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
Like, we're constantly trying to maximize comfort and minimize discomfort, but she's saying that can actually hold us back.
Absolutely. It's like we get so focused on feeling good in the moment
Yeah.
that we miss out on opportunities for real growth.
It's that instant gratification thing, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
We want it now, we want it easy, and if it's not, we're like, next.
Right. But real achievement, it usually involves some level of discomfort.
Totally. It's about pushing past those comfort zones, embracing the challenges.
It's like that story Chu tells about the two frogs that fall into a bucket of milk.
Oh, yeah, I love that story.
One frog's like, this sucks, I'm doomed, and gives up, right? But the other frog, this little guy, he just keeps kicking and churning until that milk turns into butter.
And he hops right out.
Exactly. Talk about not accepting defeat.
Right. What a champ.
So how do we channel our inner butter-churning frog? How do we actually apply all this thick-face, black-heart wisdom in our own lives?
Well, for starters, I think it's about questioning some of those conventional ideas about success.
Okay.
The ones that tell us we always have to be positive, always agreeable.
Right. Never rock the boat.
Exactly. Chu actually points out that a lot of really successful people throughout history, people like Abraham Lincoln, Spencer Tracy, they struggled with negativity and self-doubt, too.
Really? Okay, so it's not all sunshine and rainbows, even for those guys.
Nope. They had their struggles, just like the rest of us. It's a good reminder that we don't have to be perfect to achieve great things.
I love that. So we don't have to wait for, this perfectly positive mindset.
No way. In fact, embracing our so-called flaws, that can actually be a source of strength.
It's about owning who you are, the good, the bad.
Exactly. And this ties into this idea of consistency, which Chu kind of turns on its head.
Oh, interesting. How so?
Well, she even goes so far as to say that God isn't always consistent.
Wow. Okay. Bold statement.
Right. But she's trying to get us thinking about how this need for perfect consistency can actually stifle creativity and innovation. Life is full of contradictions.
And that's okay.
Exactly. Embrace the contradictions.
So to wrap this all up, what are our main takeaways here? Embrace the contradictions, don't fear failure, and remember those frogs churning milk into butter.
Yes. And most importantly, align your actions with your dharma, that sense of what's truly right.
Right, because thick-faced Blackheart, it's not about just getting ahead. It's about living and leading with purpose. So as you go about your day-to-day, think about those areas where a little thick-faced Blackheart might come in handy.
Yeah. Like, is there a tough conversation you've been putting off?
Or a dream you've been too scared to chase.
Maybe it's time to channel your inner Coco Chanel, your inner Han Jin. Remember, the world's waiting for you to make your mark.
On that note, we'll wrap things up here. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into Thick Face Black Heart. Until next time, remember, you've got this.